different things like that. It is interesting to see because oftentimes you see players like Cake Assault in that like winners top whatever, right? Whenever you turn on the tournament, it's like, oh, there's Cake Assault in winners top 48. There's Cake Assault in winners top 16. There's Cake Assault
there he goes.
Winners finals. Do you know what I mean?
Climbing the ladder of greatness to the peak.
But I think the beautiful thing about like FGC tournaments generally is that every player has to start at the bottom.
Yeah.
And so you get to see, you know, kind of sets like that where it's like, okay, how does Cake Assault look versus the rest of the cast or versus, you know, the people in pools and not necessarily the top echelon of players. And it's interesting to see the little differences in how people play.
Yeah.
And adapt based on those kind of differences. And someone like Cake Assault, we expect him to do well. But I definitely think as a new player, watching those sets, the ones where he's against the people that you run up against in pools, is going to give you a better idea of what you're striving for in terms of if you're trying to like quote-unquote copy Cake Assault's playstyle.
Yeah.
Than necessarily watching him against the really, really good players.
I feel like this goes in hand with Smash Bros. Like any version, Melee, Smash Ultimate, Smash 4. Sandbox fighting games are so cool because every person plays in a unique way. Like we got S7even versus Flamemaster here, and they're both going to be playing in entirely different ways than the people that are going to be playing Fleet and Orcane later. And that type of fluidity and that difference in their game plan is so vast, and you can tell the difference between players like Cake Assault when they're playing up against another player, and it's just such a cool way to express yourself in a fighting game.
Yeah, and this is an interesting matchup because we've seen it a couple times at the top level, particularly when Marlon used to bust out Orcane versus people like Cake Assault. When this matchup was more prevalent, when both of these characters were a little better than they are right now. But that being said, one of the great things that Orcane brings to this matchup is some of the best mobility in the game.
Yeah, Orcane's mobility seems pretty solid. Like that puddle on the ground, being able to teleport to it at any given moment. That Smash Attack doing a lot of knockback as well. Taking the first stock.
But not only that, like Orcane has the best wave dash in the game. Orcane has really solid run speed, really solid kind of like big hitting moves on stuff like down tilts and forward tilts that kind of get him around the stage. And you're right, the threat of that puddle to teleport, even B-reversing the puddle.
You can B-reverse the puddle? That sounds crazy.
Gives him a lot of movement options that other characters don't have and just makes him slippery. Ooh. And when you're a character like Fleet that is really trying to lock people down and try and make stuff happen, it can be very frustrating to play against Orcane.
Yeah. Because Fleet's like a trapping character. Like you want to shut down the options that your opponent has so that you can control the stage, control the platforms, control the battlefield. And that's tough against a character that you can't get away from. But getting a snipe here, S7even finding that forward smash.
It's cute. I like it.
Yeah, it was a good play. It was a very solid play.
All right, and that's going to be the tipper on the up air. Going to take the stock very, very early. And Flamemaster putting an exclamation point on this one.
The hit fall on that neutral air to try and extend the advantage state. Love to see it.
And it's interesting to see how, you know, the Orcane players are adapting, because in this last patch, Orcane's neutral air was nerfed. Not into the ground, but pretty heavily. And before this, it was often a move that you would string together like 2 to 4 times before you had to do any other move.
I've been on the receiving end of that a couple times. It was a long-lasting, nasty combo.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And so seeing the combo routes change a little bit, and even the no teleport up B to be able to grab the ledge there and get the edge guard.
Not gonna lie, Paris, that was a fast one.
It was clean. It was clean.
It was a clean game.
Yeah, and you often think of Orcane as like the zoner kind of slow character, but the way that they've been nerfing him and buffing him to kind of reintegrate his power across his kit has made him this, like, again, very shifty but very fast character where you can have this playstyle of like playing very quickly, getting in people's faces, pressing those quick buttons that Orcane has.
Yeah, there's pressure from both sides. Just kind of a scrap right now, just throwing out options against each other, testing the limits of the opponent, seeing what they're going to go for. And I kind of feel like this stage, it feels pretty good for Orcane. You have a lot of platforms to be able to teleport to, the up airs to be able to extend even higher upwards. I don't know, like...
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like float and all of these movement options that Fleet has also help, but it also feels a little dangerous for fighting Orcane in some ways. Was that a misinput?
Yeah.
That looked a little bit like a misinput to me.
I think he was unfortunately probably trying to B-revert the, or wave bounce the down special, and then got it the wrong direction and just went into the blast zone, but that is what it is sometimes. Yeah, this stage is interesting because oftentimes people lean on it because of how close the side blast zones are.
Got you.
They're very, very close to the side of the stage, and because I imagine 7 is oftentimes going to be trying to kill with either back air or forward smash, that's why, you know, we thought, okay, these side blast zones are going to end up being solid for me. The problem with that is Orcane's F smash, Orcane's...
everything just together is kind of synergizing really well in this advantage state. Finding a good smash attack. Oh, the tech chase in. That's going to be enough for that stock.
And the DI a little scuffed. Probably could have lived that, but unfortunately not quite good enough. And now a big comeback to be made here, and especially a difficult one when those side blast zones again are those ever-threatening, just like looming,
looming
sense
threats
of destruction.
Trying to find the advantage state, looking for another grab.
You can't air dodge against Orcane there.
Oh man, this combo is extending even farther. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this stage has kind of been a detriment so far. The platforms just have not been helping out in evading Flamemaster's Orcane. Finding another neutral air here. That probably could have been an up air.
Yeah, probably to some degree.
Let's for the grab, but find a spot dodge. Back off stage.
What do you got? We need more of a commitment off stage, sadly. Like run off float, run off back air. Like you just need to find something.
Yeah,
because right now it's not working. Like Orcane is just not dying on a stage where he absolutely should be, and that back air is going to secure the stock, but you got 2 more to go, and with an Orcane Nair potentially killing off the side, including stuff like forward throw and back air.
Nice tech chase.
You got a lot to worry about. All right, opportunity.
Good damage here. Okay.
Oh wait, this is huge. This is huge.
To fight back a little bit.
No, this should be it. Oh, potentially. An opportunity to close out the stock there, not capitalized on after the side being the second hit of the neutral air is going to take the stock at 150. And again, the stage working against you.
Yeah, we might see a stage change here then. Yeah, Orcane seems very dominant once they get in against Fleet. Like, it's so hard to get off of Fleet in that situation. Those platforms were helping out so much in extending that advantage state. Even after the neutralers were not connecting into like true combo grabs, the spot dodge or the air dodge was enough to indicate that 7 was playing a little bit scared there to try and get away. But even now, this advantage state nurse is still going for Flamemaster. Should be the Water Master right now.
Yeah, true.
Like, what is happening?
Yeah, and choosing to run it back on the same stage as well. Potentially thinking, you know, this was a me problem, sadly, but it's a me problem you're going to have to solve very, very quickly if you want to have a chance in this. You have the bond for later. Yeah, hey, run it back.
Hey, that's right.
Okay.
Jab cancel, up tilt into the up air off the top platform. Once again, the platform's coming in clutch for Flamemaster.
Yeah, and it's a couple of instances where, you know, the DI might not be perfect, but it hasn't been too terrible across the board. It's just challenging, again, when you get hit with these up tilts, get hit with these jabs, letting Orcane smother you like this.
Oh, that was a really strong triple neutral air.
Reminiscent of what used to just be real.
Remember what you had.
Yeah. The people remember. Pepperidge Farms remembers. And even in a situation like that, 7 choosing not to use the stage to his advantage and goes for an up air instead of a neutral air to potentially send Flamemaster off stage. Just, again, not that it's necessarily a bad pick, but some of the thoughtfulness in terms of the combo routes and what, you know, 7 is actually going for could be cleaned up a little bit.
It definitely feels like 7 right now is throwing out a lot of advantage state options to try and push neutral. But because they keep missing, it just feels like a lot of options are whiffing in that neutral situation and making it seem like
they're doing options that send up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in that situation, you get to choose up air or back air because you've read that. And unfortunately, like 7 chose up air when back air has the potential to kill and at the very least send off stage, where those nairs are going to be killing off the side as well. And so I think it's an interesting kind of case study. That was nice.
Setting with that forward air, that was kind of nasty.
An interesting kind of case study about kind of thoughtfulness in advantage state and knowing where you're hitting your opponent and why.
Okay, Flamemaster extending the advantage state one more time. We're getting really close to the last stock situation here for Fleet. Winner side kind of matters here. Can get back to this ledge. Okay, advantage state might extend. No, good shield.
We got
that was a back throw, yeah.
Yeah, it was. If you DI back throw
okay.
incorrectly, it is very, very strong. And the sliding up smash is going to do the trick. Flamemaster looking comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable is a really good word for that, actually. Just felt like every single time that Advantage State started from his Orcane, like, you were going for a ride, 50, 60% roughly, before anything dropped. And even then, so comfortable in the pressure on that Advantage State to just keep going, extending off the platforms, and it just worked out really good for Flamemaster.
Yeah, it looked good. It looked good. It looked solid. And I feel like, again, like, when you're coming into pools, that's how you want to be feeling. You want to be feeling like, hey, this just went really well. Like,
yeah.
the game plan's working, the preparation's working, everything's going well.